Hey, usually I share with you my opinion, but this time I would like to ask you for your opinion. What would you do in the situation I will describe you, or how would you configure the situation? Imagine there is a research team, a group of programmers slash researchers who are doing some experiments. They're trying to solve some problems, not problem, but problems usually. They're all looking at these problems from different perspectives, from different angles, and they are working on papers. They're not only writing code, but they're also writing scientific papers, academic papers, which are supposed to be published in the end of the research or during the research. The papers are usually written by not a single person, but a few people. So one person is writing, another person is helping to edit the paper, another one is participating in the discussions, so maybe not even typing the text there, but discussing the problems and suggesting solutions and how to move the research into a better direction. So it's a group work, it's a teamwork. But then the result of this teamwork, there is a paper which has an author. An author or a number of authors, or an author and co-authors, but usually now in academic world, they just have a list of authors. John, Sarah, Peter, 3 authors. So the question is, how do we decide in a group who will be the author? Let's say we have 10 people in the team, 10 people working on a problem. They're working on a software solution, and they will generate 5 different papers. So there are basically 3 approaches. Approach number 1 is we all become co-authors. 10 people, 10 authors. No matter who is publishing, no matter who is writing, no matter what kind of paper it is, no matter what the paper is about, 10 people, they just go in there. They become all authors, no exceptions, no exclusions. That's a scenario number 1. And remember, we're trying to make a rule. So we're trying to decide that it's going to be happen from now till the very end of the end of a lifetime of this group. Not even the project, but the group. So it's a rule, it has to be set, so everybody knows what is the rule, what to expect. The approach number 2, the person who is responsible, the main author, the main person who is actually typing most of the text, who is driving the paper forward, becomes the author. And we always assign that person. So when we start writing a new paper, we say, okay, now it's your paper. So this is Sarah. So Sarah, okay, write a paper, make it your paper, you will publish. And Sarah becomes the author number 1, and then Sarah invites other people as she wishes. She says, Peter was helping me, so I invite Peter. Maybe she doesn't even explain why. It's just her personal decision. She makes the decision. Peter is the co-author, so I invite Peter. And we don't debate this decision. That's the rule. So the author, the primary author of the paper, even if this decision is not fair, maybe the author will just say, I don't want anybody to be co-authors, so I just be myself. It's just going to be my paper. And we all just eat it, just swallow it, and say, okay, that's the way it is. That's the second approach. And approach number 3, which I which I see more and more often, is the approach where the decision is made ad hoc. So we just make a decision with no particular rule behind it. It's just, yeah, these 3 people, because they were working more on this paper, just because. So decisions is made by somehow. There's no clear explanation. There's no real set of rules written on the wall, and anybody can just look at it and understand, okay, that's the rule we use in our team. So I'm asking you, what do you think is better, the first approach, the second one, or the third one? So probably if you are subscribed to my channel, then you will probably cross out the option number 3, because we are all, we all like rules. I mean, I'm trying to tell you this for many years on my blog and my videos, that rules are better than the absence of rules. But let's consider 2 first options. The rule number 1, everybody. The rule number 2, 1 person and co-authors. So what's good in the first approach? It will not offend, it is supposed to not offend anybody. Of course it may offend. For example, the person just quits the group and we still publish the paper. So shall we include the person who was working with us 2 years ago on this project, and she quit 2 years ago and went to work for Google. Now she's in Google, but we continue working on that, continue writing those papers we started 2 years ago. Shall we include that person as a co-author? That's a tricky question, hard to answer. But if the answer will be, of course not, then it will demotivate people who stay with us now. They will understand that no matter how much they invest right now, the time and efforts, they will be most probably excluded if they decide to quit in some time. So that's the tricky scenario. But still, everybody means everybody. 10 people means 10 people. Just everybody, to not offend anybody. That's the principle. And the second option, there are also benefits. So if you let the primary author be the decision maker, then it gives extra motivation, additional motivation for that person to stand out and to demonstrate their achievements much better than being just inside a list of co-authors among everybody else, who maybe not work as good as that person. Because in a team of 10 people, it's impossible to imagine that all 10 people, they contribute equally. Sometimes there will be lazy people, sometimes there will be people who don't work because they don't like to work, whatever. There could be many reasons for having people who contribute much less than somebody else. So that somebody else who is a top contributor, who works day and night on this paper and who puts a lot of effort into it, he or she will not be happy to see that after the paper is published, his name or her name stays on the position number 5 among other 10 guys some of who barely touch the keyboard during the lifetime of the project. So that's a negative side. It may demotivate that key performers if we apply the principle from the first scenario. So in this case, the second scenario gives advantages to top performers. It just says you will be the author, you will be the paper publisher. So everybody else, they will try to help you in order to motivate you to involve, to include include them into the list of co-authors. For example, I'm in the team, I see this guy, he's working hard to publish a paper, and I see that the paper potentially could be publishable and could be a really good paper. I will try to help that person. I will try to work with them. I will try to say, how can I help you? Maybe invite me for the meeting, invite me for the discussion. Let me write something for you. Maybe write you some software. So I will try to help. But there are negative sides and positive sides in both options. So I'm asking you, what do you think? Maybe you can share your experience, how it works in your team, how it works in your group. So how it happens, what's the rule, what's the principle of the authorship? So who gets the privilege of being authors of the papers your group is publishing? Thanks for listening. I'm waiting for your answers. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.